Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of JK Sports Podcast. My name is Joey. Coming at you solo today. We were supposed to have the scheduling episode, and that's what this is going to be, the schedule that just dropped. We were supposed to have this out to you a while back, man, but we had some issues with the video, so scratch that. I had to come and redo it again, and scheduling conflicts. I'm just going to do this solo today because I really wanted to get it out to you, and I'm sorry I said it was coming, and then it didn't, and but we're here today now. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be breaking down the NFC West, man. I'm going to go through San Francisco's schedule, of course, the Rams, Seattle, and Arizona. Sorry, Arizona. It's not looking good for you guys. It's not looking good for you guys. But anyway, man, we watched the season for a reason. I might be wrong. Hey, you know what? I'm probably not, though. But let's just get right into it, man. So we'll start off first game of the year, San Francisco versus Detroit. Man, this is a dub. This is a win for San Francisco. It's the highest point spread, I think, still. I don't know. I haven't checked it in a few days, but can't imagine why it'd be any different. It's like a 7.5 point spread. Brand new regime in Detroit. Familiar quarterback for San Francisco to go up against. New DC, D'Amico Ryan shouldn't have too much trouble game planning. Oh, by the way, that's my dog Daisy in the back acting the fool. But D'Amico Ryan shouldn't have too much trouble game planning. Easy day for San Francisco. I think they dominate this game. And I think Jimmy looks good. So sorry for all the people that are calling for Trey Lance or don't like Jimmy. Jimmy's going to look just fine in this one. And San Francisco's going to roll. All right, so continuing on here, NFC West Week 1. We got the Los Angeles Rams at Chicago. The Rams are going to win this game. They're just better. Their biggest issue on the team is depth. You're probably not going to have depth issues Week 1. And for that reason, I see them taking the win. And then if Chicago's starting Andy Dalton, like, hey, I love me some Red Rocket, but no. Just no. By the way, I'm trying this new beer, Dos Equis lime and salt. It's not bad, man. It's not bad. It's refreshing. I'll say that. All right, so next, Week 1, Seattle, man. We're at Indianapolis. Now, I think I'm a little high on the Colts, man, but I think they win this game. The Colts do. Seattle takes an L. So the division's looking pretty good for San Francisco with Seattle taking that L. I think Frank Reich and Carson Wentz are going to help each other out. I think Indianapolis has always just been a quarterback away from being a very, very good team. Maybe not a Super Bowl team, but a very, very good team. And I think Carson Wentz is better than he was in Philly. I don't know what the hell is going on there, man. So I think he has a better year, and I think they beat Seattle Week 1. Next, Arizona at Tennessee. Tennessee is not a great team. Not super high on them. I know they're a playoff team the last few years, but I am higher on them than I am Arizona. Don't like Arizona. Don't care about J.J. Watt. Don't care about A.J. Green. I heard Jason Aponte say, he's like, I might be worried about if it was 2012. But it's not. It's 2021, and I don't care who they got. They're taking the L. So Arizona loses and Seattle loses. Rams wins, 49ers win. Moving on, man. Week 2, San Francisco at Philly. This is another win, baby. It's another win. Philly don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing, man. I feel like they had a plan, and they were like, oh, wait a minute. This plan doesn't work. And then like they tried to flip a 180 and do all this weird stuff, and they got a coach late, and it's like, you don't know what you're doing. And it's going to cost them here in Week 2. They might be the worst team in their own division, and that's a bad division full of mediocre teams. San Francisco wins this game. I think they win it probably more handily than they beat Detroit, to be honest with you. Don't like what they're doing over there. So San Francisco dominates this game easily. Total blowout. Colts and Rams, man, Week 2. And I got the Rams taking an L to the Colts, man. I think the Colts are a much more complete team, and I think that they dominate this game. Matthew Stafford is probably still going to be learning that offense. I think they're going to be a little limited, and I just think, man, there's just not enough quality on the defensive side. They got Jalen Ramsey. They got Aaron Donald. Who else? I'll put it in the comments. Can't wait forever here. That's it, man. That's it. They lost like 3 starters on the defense, on a top-heavy defense to begin with. So I'm not a big believer in the Rams, though I think they probably the second best team in the division on paper. So I got them losing to the Colts, man. Seattle plays Tennessee. Seattle's going to beat Tennessee. I think they're both pretty weak rosters, and I think Seattle's got Russell Wilson. Well, I know Seattle's got Russell Wilson, but I think Russell Wilson will be enough to beat Tennessee. They can't play defense, man. They don't have anyone to match up with DK Metcalf. I mean, even if you love Caleb Farley, which I do, who knows if he's even going to be playing? So, I think Seattle wins this game. I think Russell's going to get them. Not at least Russell will get you at least 6 games, right? And then your team will probably help win a couple, so you'll win like 9, 10, 11 games. That's kind of Seattle's formula. So Seattle takes that. They're 1-1. Next, Arizona, man. They're going over Minnesota. I love Minnesota. Really, I think they're a really well built team. I mean, you say what you want about Kirk Cousins. He's fine in week 2, right? Like he's okay in week 2. So I think Minnesota beats Arizona here. And I just don't. What is Arizona even doing? What are they built to do? What are they built to stop? Nothing. They can't stop anything. Like I don't know what they're doing over there. So, I mean, Malcolm Butler, JJ Watt is no. Dalvin Cook will have a good day. So Arizona takes the L. They're 0-2. Week 3, man. This is when it starts getting juicy for San Francisco. So we got San Francisco, Green Bay. Now I'm just going to assume Aaron Rodgers is playing, and then I'm also going to tell you that it won't matter because San Francisco just matches up too well. And they're going to beat Green Bay. They didn't address that. Who'd they take? Eric Stokes out of Georgia. All right, man. Okay. You're going to lose. You lost week 3. So San Francisco matches up too well. Anytime San Francisco's good, for whatever reason, they just seem to have Green Bay's number. And San Francisco's going to be good. So they're 3-0, man. Congratulations. And I think if they start 3-0, even if they lose the next 2, there's no way Trey Lance starts that like takes over after the bye. I just don't see it happening. And I also see Jimmy playing well these first 3 weeks. I see Jimmy playing well really at least 4 of these first 5 games. So I'm not seeing a Trey Lance switch here. And that was one of the first things that came to mind when I was talking schedule. Week 3 for the Rams, man. They play Tampa. Tampa's the reigning Super Bowl champ, man. So I think they're a deeper, better roster just overall. As whatever you think of Matt Stafford, I know you don't think he's better than Tom Brady. So Tampa wins this game. I don't really think it was that hard to call. It's a pretty easy call for me. Tampa wins. Might be a close game, though. Tampa's going to win. All right, Seattle, man. They play Minnesota. I think they beat Minnesota. As much as I would talk about that I really like Minnesota, I think Seattle's just going to beat them. Unless Dalvin Cook goes nuts. And even so, Seattle might still win this game. So I'm just going to err on the side of caution and say that Seattle takes out Minnesota here. And they have another, continue their hot start, really, 2-1. Arizona at Jacksonville. This will kind of be a fun game, man, just because, Kyler Murray, whatever I think of him, he's an exciting player. And then, Trevor Lawrence, too. So I'll probably check out that game. We'll see. And this is also going to be Arizona's first win. Jacksonville won 2 games last year, right? 2 games. Trevor Lawrence is going to get him to 5, 6. So it won't be against Arizona. And remember, man, whatever I say about these records are going to be deflated, man, because this is a tough division. So, like, if these teams, everyone in the NFC West, they were playing in other divisions, they have a shot to win. So this is a real tough division. Week 4, man, San Francisco, Seattle. Big game here. Big game, man. But 2-game homestand. They get to stay home for Seattle. Seattle was just in Minnesota coming back. I think San Francisco wins. They're going to split the season series. And I think San Francisco wins this one here. And they're 4-0, baby. It's hard to predict, man, teams going like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-0 because it just don't happen often. But just looking at the schedule, the way it's shaping up, I'm a believer in what I'm picking, obviously. And I think San Francisco wins this game, man. Seattle's roster sucks, man. Seattle's roster sucks. It's just Russell Wilson. If you are picking Seattle to win the division, you're only picking them because you're like, oh, Russell Wilson. Oh, Russell Wilson. And I don't pick games based off of like banking that Russell Wilson's going to throw for 400 yards and 3-4 touchdowns, right? I don't pick game. I don't expect that. It could happen, but I don't expect that to happen. And because of that, I don't expect San Francisco to lose because that's what would have to happen, I think, for them to lose. All right, man. So Arizona and the Rams play this week as well. So this is all division matches right now. And Arizona's playing the Rams. The Rams are going to win this game. They're better than the Cardinals. Matt Stafford will be picking up the offense, provided the Rams don't have any injuries, which they might. They're winning this game. Cardinals can't compete with the Rams, who probably do have the most top end talent in the league. Really, I mean, it's crazy. All right, man. So moving on here, we got San Francisco at Arizona. Mark it down, baby. It's a win. 5-0 headed into the bye. San Francisco beats the Cardinals. I know they play us kind of tough. I also think like 2019 is what a lot of people talk about, and they beat us week 1. We were missing a lot of guys already week 1, and it showed up in the passing game. I mean, you saw the team when Debo's not on the field. It looks totally different. We did not have him week 1. We did not have Brandon Ayuk week 1. So I mean, and we were really in control of that game. We had a bunch of silly penalties. So that even though they play us tough, we should have won that week 1 game. 2019, man, Kyler Murray that first game had like 12 yards passing and then threw a ridiculous pass to Andy Isabella, and it was just like E-Man tried to make a play. I think it was E-Man, and it just went over his head. He tried to get a pick, and it just happened out like that. And then the second time we played in 2019, it was just a slow start, man. And we just after that slow start, we really came back and dominated. And Jimmy had some great plays in those games for to win it for us. So I see San Francisco beating the Cardinals. I don't think they're good enough. AJ Green, JJ Watt are not difference makers. They're just honestly, I know they're big names, man, but they're just depth pieces, really, man. Like AJ Green's not coming in expected to get 1,200 yards, even 1,000. JJ Watt's not coming in to get you 10 sacks, even 6. JJ Watt had 4 last year, and he played 16 games for the first time in forever. So I'm not super concerned, and let's hope Malcolm Butler's on the field, right? Let's pray for that. So San Francisco wins that game. Yeah. Then the Rams, man, we kind of swap here. So it looks like it's at Seattle, and I got the Rams winning. I got the Rams winning in Seattle. I think they are better. I think it's early in the season. I think both these teams have depth issues. I think the Rams have bigger depth issues. And I see the Rams early in the year taking it to Seattle here. Unless Russ goes crazy, man. It's hard, man, because Seattle's like everything's predicated on does Russ go crazy. You can't pick games like that. So I got the Rams winning. You know, I think I have them splitting if I look up and down here. But I think I have everyone splitting. So, yeah, Rams take it, and they have a really good start, man. They've only got, looks like 2 losses here. Next week, man, we got the Week 6 bye for the 49ers. Should we even talk about this week? I mean, you know. But, yeah, man, so the Week 6 bye, San Francisco on my schedule here, and this is going to be 100% correct. Book it. They're 5-0, and they're not making a change in that scenario. So, sorry to everyone who's excited to see Trey Lance. I love Trey Lance. He's not coming in if the team is rolling. I think if Jimmy plays like he played in 2019, Trey Lance won't start at all. And I think that's what you get when Jimmy's healthy. If Jimmy gets hurt, you know, whatever. But yeah, you won't see Trey Lance unless Jimmy gets hurt, I don't think. Next, man, we got the Rams at the Giants. You know, I'm not super high on the Giants. I think they'll be better. The Rams win this game. Just because they're better. I don't think the Giants really are ready to compete. I think Daniel Jones really holds the team back. And I think Matthew Stafford and this offense kind of are going to go. They've already started, but I think they're going to go on a little hot streak here, man. Like I do. I could see them being very, very competitive in this division for sure. And I think they're in the midst of a hot streak right now. So Rams beat the Giants. Next, man, we got Seattle at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh sucks, man. You know. They're not going to get like pushed out of the national media scope, man. So if you're a big ESPN guy, you're going to hear all about the Steelers. At this point, I believe it to be more reverence than anything else. They've been around for a long time, man, and they've been good with Big Ben for a long time. But I see them kind of continuing that little tailspin they had towards the end of last year. Um, the Browns are clearly better than them. The Ravens are clearly better than them. And I think Seattle whoops them. So that's a win there for Seattle. All right. Next, man, we got Arizona at Cleveland. Cleveland, man, I just talked about them real quick. They're going to beat the Cardinals. They have such a deep roster, man. And I think Baker's a solid quarterback. I think what you're getting out of Baker, man, is like you're going to get help. Like I think he'll produce at the level of like someone like Jimmy G. And what is Jimmy G? Somewhere in that 10 to 15 range. I know he was hurt, and we all think, oh, Jimmy sucks now. But Jimmy doesn't suck by any means. And I think Baker is right in that 10 to 15 range as well. So he'll go as far as that roster helps him go. And right now that roster is stacked. So Cleveland, man, beats Arizona. Arizona, man, sorry, guys. You got one win. It was against Jacksonville. But you got Houston on the schedule, man. So don't lose faith yet. All right, man. So coming off the bye, San Francisco versus Indianapolis. This is a win. I know I've had Indianapolis like whooping on everybody, but we're coming off a bye, man. Well-coached teams play well off the bye, and they're going to beat them. So San Francisco gets another win, man. They are 6-0 headed to Chicago. So great start for San Francisco here. And Defoe's coming back, man. I love Defoe. Let me just say that. I love Defoe. I wish we never gotten rid of him. I understand why we did. But he's a pass finesse guy. He's not a stout in your lane guy. And I think San Francisco will run the ball right at him. And I think they'll have success. And I think they'll beat them that way. All right. So next, we got LA at Detroit. We already talked about Detroit. Brand new regime in there. Jared Goff, garbage. He's playing against his old team, the Rams, so he's going to be motivated, and it won't matter because he's not good enough. So Rams win that game. All right, man. Seattle at New Orleans. So I got Seattle winning this game. I know New Orleans has a nice roster. What they don't have is a nice quarterback. Not anymore. I don't know what they're going to do. I think Jameis is the guy, right? I think we know that. Jameis is the guy, but are they going to be throwing Taysom Hill in there? Like, I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know what they're doing really at all. And what is Jameis going to give you? We really don't know. But the last time we saw him, he was a turnover machine. So I'm just going to assume he continues to play like he's played his whole career, maybe a little more restrained. Still not great, still not elite, still not Drew Brees. So they would lose 3-4 games a year, 5 games a year with Drew Brees and this roster anyway. So they're going to lose 5, 6, 7, 8 with Jameis. Let's just be real. Great roster, not a great quarterback. Seattle wins this game because Russ is a great quarterback. So that's a win for Seattle in New Orleans. Next, man, Arizona. Houston. Arizona going to win this game, man. Houston's a nightmare. I don't know what they're doing at quarterback. I think they drafted Davis Mills. I think they have Tyrod Taylor. And I don't know what's going on with Deshaun. I actually haven't really heard much lately. So I don't know, man. But Arizona's going to win this game. Houston, dumpster fire. They might win one game and end up drafting Spencer Rattler next year. So, all right. Moving on, man. San Francisco takes their first loss of the year, man, in Chicago. Oh, it sucks to say, man. I got the fiance. She's from Chicago, man. It's a good thing she don't really care about football. She won't even know the score if I don't tell her, but she claims to like the Bears. But yeah, so I think they're gonna lose this game, man. I just think it's time. I think the travel is going to catch up to them because they travel a lot this schedule. And I think Chicago wins this game. I think Justin Fields is playing by then, and I think it's hard to. We struggle with mobile quarterbacks as is. Maybe D'Amico Ryans will help with that, but it's hard to gauge what these like freaky mobile athletic quarterbacks are going to bring to the table on any given day, man. And I just see us having some trouble out in Chicago. It's going to be in October. It's going to be cold. And I just not super high on Chicago. I think we lose this game. So San Francisco, man, they take their first L of the season. So that makes them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6-1. Pretty good record, though, man. Pretty good record. All right, man. So now the Rams, they get Houston. That's a win. Moving on. Seattle. They play Jacksonville, man. That's a win, too. It might be a fun game to watch, man. Anything with, like, top draft picks, top quarterbacks is fun to watch. But Jacksonville just don't have it. Yeah, I mean, they're going to win a couple games. But, yeah, they just don't have it, man. Seattle's going to take this game. So, next, we got Arizona at Green Bay. That's a loss. Green Bay is an elite team, and the Cardinals don't match up well. They don't have the run game to exploit Green Bay. James Conner. What are these additions that the Cardinals are making, man? What? I don't understand how they're building that team. So James Conner, man, no. Yeah, so that game's a loss for the Cardinals. I'm sorry, man. Y'all got 2 wins. I'm from the Bay Area, right? I moved to Arizona later because it's much cheaper. And I cannot get on board with the Cardinals at all, man. I just can't do it. Whew. All right, man. Week 9. We got Arizona at San Francisco. And it's a win. I see San Francisco beating them both times. That brings San Francisco to 7-1. Again, man, it's the same reason as last time. I just don't see it. I just don't see it with them. They never, like, all the games we've played are deceptively not close. Even though we've lost, it's like you got dominated, man. Like, that's the way the games felt. And, provided, health provided, right? Like, health matters, but San Francisco is just not going to lose to the Cardinals. I don't care. Cliff Kingsbury's garbage. Kyler Murray's okay. Like, these athletic quarterbacks can win you games with their legs and doing freaky things, but you don't count on freaky things when you're picking games. So San Francisco should win this game. And yeah, brings them to 7-1 through week 9. Next, man, we got Tennessee for the Rams. This is a win for the Rams. And that hot streak continues, man. They have lost 2 games. So what do I have them at? 7-2? I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2. So yeah, man, the Rams are right on our butts, man. 1 or a half game back. Yeah, they beat Tennessee. Tennessee's a weak team. They just really rely on Derrick Henry, and all great things must come to an end. He's been dominating for like 3 years now. So that defense is very, very weak. They lost Adoree Jackson, replaced him with Caleb Fairley. The rest of the defense is not great. It really never has been. It's Derrick Henry that kind of solidifies that defense. And it's almost like what the Cowboys did Zeke's rookie year. It's like that defense is atrocious. They're just never on the field. And that's kind of the thing here. And I'm not a believer in Tennessee right now. And I feel like people think like, oh, they're just big, tough, defensive, physical team, but they're really not. I don't really know where that comes from. They're not. They're terrible. So the Rams get the win there. 7-2. Next, man, Seattle. They have a bye. So Seattle gets the week off. Man, everybody's got better buys than us, man. We got, oof. They stuck it to us with that bye. And yeah, we already talked about, Arizona losing 49ers. So next, man, we got San Francisco the Rams at San Francisco. And I have this, their first matchup of the season, as a win. It's a home game. And I think they win. It's a home game. I think they split. And when I'm picking a split like that, and they're pretty evenly matched, they're both really good teams, I'm just going to go with the home team when I'm initially picking the schedule, right? So much context by week 10. What if Aaron Donald's not in the game, right? What if, our entire roster is on IR again? You never know, but right now I'm picking the Niners to get this win, bring them to 8-1. And we bump up that division lead. Next, coming off a bye, man, we got at Green Bay. Green Bay's got a great roster, man. They just can't defend the run. Seattle just has a bad roster, and they can't really do anything. So I got Aaron Rodgers. Again, I'm picking that Aaron Rodgers is playing these games. That means that Seattle loses to Green Bay. They're just better. So I got Green Bay getting the win, Seattle taking the L here. I think that puts Seattle at 1, 2, 3, 4 losses on the year. So they're a game behind the Rams. Next, man, we got Arizona at Carolina. I like Carolina, man. I'm excited to see what they look like. I like Matt Rule. I like Joe Brady. And I'd like to see what Sam Darnold has a chance to do outside of Adam Gase. I think I talked about this on some older episodes. I would have liked if the Jets kept Darnold and traded back that pick with the Niners, and we still took Trey Lance because he was my quarterback too. So I would have liked to see that. So I'm very excited to see what Darnold looks like in Carolina, and I think they're going to look good. So I got Arizona losing this game. Jeez, there's a lot of L's on Arizona's schedule, man. So yeah, they're losing this game. Next, San Francisco at Jacksonville, Week 11. Jacksonville's garbage. San Francisco is to 9-1. Again, man, the only reason Jacksonville is even relevant the last few years is Gardner Minshew's a clown. Funny guy. I don't want to say clown like it's negative. He's a funny guy. Like, cool. I like Gardner Minshew. Can't play. Not really. And now they have Trevor Lawrence, number 1 pick. And it's like a generational type prospect. So that's why they're relevant. And San Francisco is going to beat them soundly here. Awesome. I like Travis Etienne too, man. I heard something, man. They're working Travis Etienne out at wide receiver in camp. I didn't read too much into it because I don't really care about what Jacksonville's doing. But I'm like, what are you doing, man? This dude can run the ball. So I don't really know what you see for him. So weird. All right, man. The only way San Francisco loses this game is if Tim Tebow's a quarterback. Oh, no, I'm just playing, man. Tim Tebow better not even be on the roster at that point. But, yeah, that's the only way they lose the game, man. Tim Tebow comes in, dominates. So San Francisco wins, man. Ball game. Rams have a bye. Moving on here. Let me just do that. Seattle, man. After Green Bay, they play Arizona. That's a win. Again, I'm sorry, Arizona, man. I'm sorry, man. You're just going to lose. I don't like your team. The only way you win is if someone important is hurt because Seattle's got depth issues as well. So that's an L for you guys, man. Sorry. Arizona taking the hot L. Man, watch this. I'm going to turn into the next Adam Rank, Arizona going to the Super Bowl. I'm going to get memed all year long. Hey, that'd be pretty nice, man, if I got memed all year long. That means I'm catching on in popularity. All right. Week 12, man. Minnesota at San Francisco. I like Minnesota. This is a home game for San Francisco. They're going to win. They're going to win. They're just better than Minnesota. I like what they're doing over there. I think Jimmy D is going to play very, very well this year. I really, really do, provided he's healthy. So San Francisco, Minnesota's a very good team, and you can never count out very good teams. They could lose this game. And whenever I'm picking schedules, I like to give out like a floating L, right? Just like floating around, apply it wherever you want, because you always lose a game or two that you shouldn't, just based off like tough scheduling or other injury. A myriad of factors can go into that. So I always float around an L, and this is a candidate for that. But I got San Francisco winning the game. Call me a homer, man, but we are 10-1. This roster is stacked, man. It might be the best roster in the NFL, in my opinion. So we're getting guys back, and we didn't lose anyone of importance. All right, baby. Moving on. Los Angeles Rams. They are at Green Bay. Again, man, I think Green Bay is better than every team in the division except for San Francisco. I think they beat the Rams, and the Rams are going to Green Bay late in the year. This is I don't want to call them a soft team, man, because I feel like that's but they are. They are. They are. So the Rams take the L here, man. Green Bay. Again, if Aaron Rodgers is playing. Next, man, we got Seattle at Washington. I have this as a loss. This can go either way, obviously. I got this as a loss for Washington. I'm sorry, as a loss for Seattle. I think Washington gets them. I really like what they did in the draft. I really like their just roster construction as a whole. I think that defensive line gets home against Wilson and hounds him. I like their free agent moves. Not so much Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know why people love Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's cool and all. Like, his beard is dope, but he's so hot cold, man. That's why he's never made the playoffs. But this division is weak. This defense is awesome. Good receivers. I think they beat Seattle here. All right, man. Rejoice, Cardinals fans. Rejoice. You have a bye. No L's for you this week. All right, moving on, man. Week 13. They have I don't know, man. That week 12 bye is pretty rough too, but everyone's got a better bye than the Niners. San Francisco versus Seattle. Is that Seattle? I got San Francisco taking an L here, man. That bumps them down to 10-2. I had them splitting. I had them splitting the season series. They always play each other tough. Seattle doesn't have really. I mean, let's just be honest. Seattle has no business winning 8 games. That roster is so bad. But Russell Wilson is just like, he's like a magic player, man. He's just like the great equalizer. He could play awful for 3 quarters and then throw 4 touchdowns. So I got Seattle winning this game. And that sucks, man, because I always feel like when the Niners play the Seahawks, the primetime game is in Seattle. And then everyone watches it, and everyone's like, oh, my God, Seattle's going to win the division. They're just better. I don't care what their record says. They're better. They're not. They're not. So, but they get this game. They get this game. All right, man. Moving through, we got the Rams at Jacksonville. Man, I had a couple losses in a row, including that bye here. But they get a win against Jacksonville, obviously. The Rams are just too good of a team to lose to a rebuilding team like Jacksonville. All righty. And then we got Arizona at Chicago. That's an L. Moving on. Week 14. San Francisco at Cincinnati. This was our that add-on game because of this new beautiful 17-game season, which I'm all for more football, man, but that 17th game is weird, man. Especially doing the schedule, I was like, oh, that record sucks. But it's weird, man, because like who knows how this kind of thing shapes out, All right, but we got San Francisco versus Cincinnati. I mean, do I even have to pick this game? Look, Joe Burrow might be back. I don't know if Joe Burrow should even play this year. Why? Let him heal up, man. They got no one to protect him. I thought they did a real stupid thing in the draft, taking Jamar Chase when you got Penei Sewell on the board. You could have solidified your tackle position for 10 years, taking Sewell. But you took college team. I mean, Jamar Chase is a great player. I'm not saying he's not. I just think that was really stupid. Anywho, 11-2. San Francisco wins this game. 11-2 on the season. Next, man, we got the Rams at the Cardinals, and I got the Rams losing because I have this, division games are so tough, man. And I think that while I'm not high on the Cardinals, they always play the division tough, and they always split with people, but they ain't splitting with the 49ers. Tell you what. So they're gonna win here, man. The Cardinals get the win over LA, so the Rams take another L. So let's see, 7-3, 7-4, 8-4. They are 8-5 now on the season. So the Rams, man, after a real hot start, 7-2, are now 8-5. All right, Seattle. We just had them losing to Washington. Now here we are, and they are playing. Oh, they're playing San Francisco. What am I doing, man? No. They beat San Francisco. They are playing Houston. That's a win. I'm not talking about Houston anymore. They're atrocious. I don't know what the hell they're doing. So yeah. So we got another like all division week here. So we got Houston losing to Seattle. We got the Niners beating Cincinnati, and we got the Cardinals beating the Rams. Next, we got Atlanta versus San Francisco. San Francisco should win this game. They're terrible. I thought they did another stupid thing too, taking Kyle Pitts. These dudes are on welfare, and they just went out and bought a Rolex. I don't know. I mean, I know he's the best player available. Can you ever really go wrong with the best player available? Yes, you can. They should have traded that pick. I would have taken like 4 seconds for that pick just to rebuild this awful roster. Anyway. So I think San Francisco wins. That puts them at 12-2 on the season. All right, man. Seattle, they're playing the Rams. The Rams take an L to Seattle. That puts them at 8-6. Again, they're splitting here. So this is in Seattle, or no, sorry, this is at Seattle. I had it flipped here. I just think later in the year the depth issues for the Rams are kind of is rearing its head. I don't think they'll be at full strength. Even Matt Stafford, man, that beautiful shiny new addition, he's not no Ferrari, right? And even when he's playing, even though he plays all the time, he's always got something, right? Just look at his history. He's always got something wrong. A rib, a knuckle, or a back, or I don't know. He's always got something, man. He's a tough guy, man, but it does affect your play. And on a super top-heavy team, that matters. Look what happened when Aaron Donald, fracture his ribs in the playoffs? That defense had nothing. Aaron Donald was not 100%, and the defense had nothing, man. There's no ferocity, no nothing. It just, you saw the depth issues play out right in front of your eyes. So even if you're out there and you're not 100%, they're banking on their superstars to be 100%. And I just think late in the year, that's really going to bother them. So I got them losing to Seattle here. All right, we got Arizona at Detroit. Talked about Detroit, new head coach. I don't like Dan Campbell. I don't really know what he brings to the table. Toughness, physicality. Jared Goff is not good, and they're going to have a rough year. And because of that, Arizona takes the win here. They got another one. All right. Week 16, man. This is at Tennessee on Thursday Night Football. And I think San Francisco loses this. So this is their third loss of the season. Puts them at 12-3. I just think it was a tough scheduling break. I think the travel is really catching up to them. They travel more miles than any team in the NFL. They're all over the place. They have a pretty light schedule as far as like toughness of competition, but the travel sucks, man. And because of that, they're going to lose some games. That maybe like you're like they shouldn't lose to Chicago. Yeah, no, they're better than Chicago, but it's travel. They're better than the Titans, and it's travel. It's on Thursday night, so I think they lose that game. Next here, we got the Rams, man, and they are playing Minnesota. I got them taking an L to Minnesota, and it's partly because I think Minnesota is a very, very good team, and typically Kirk Cousins is playing well, like kind of mid-late season. And because the Rams have the depth issues. So, that's why they're losing here. And they really took a tailspin in the later half of the year on my scheduling here. Next year, we got the Seattle Seahawks playing Chicago. And I got Chicago winning, man. I think Chicago's got a better roster. I think they have a lot of talent. And I think Justin Fields will be playing and feeling good. And I think they come into Seattle and bust them up. Bust them up! So see, Chicago gets the win here, man. And I'm really excited to see Justin Fields play. I think he's really, really good. All right, man. Arizona at Indianapolis. I've talked about them too, man. Division games. We all play the same teams a lot of the time. Indianapolis is going to win this game. They're a better team. They're very complete. I think Carson Wentz has a nice bounce-back year. Because of that, if you can just get average quarterback play out of him, I think you're going to be a real good squad. So Cardinals lose that game. All right, man. Headed into Week 17, San Francisco gets a nice little break here. Much, much needed. They're going home. They're playing Houston. They're getting a free win here. I don't even know why Houston's bothering suiting up this year. Free win. That puts them at 13-3 so far in the season. Remember, we got one more week. We got one more week now, so they're 13-3. All right. I'm not going to talk about this game. San Francisco's better. It's just better. Even if Deshaun plays, like they might have the number one pick. So, All right. Baltimore and Rams. This is at Baltimore. Baltimore's a solid squad, man. and they're going to win this game. Baltimore's better. They're going to, Lamar's just going to run the ball. It's a home game. And I'm not super big on Lamar Jackson. We'll see if he shows some improvement here. But as of right now, they're better. They're better than the Rams, even at full strength. So Baltimore wins. Right, man. We got Seattle going to Detroit. Again, Detroit, not a good team. Seattle's going to whoop them. That's a win for Seattle. And that puts them at 10-6 on the season. Cardinals, man, they played Dallas at Dallas. They beat Dallas last year. Kyler Murray didn't even play well. I know Dak's going to be back. I don't. Hey, Dak's a great player, man. Awesome. I'm glad he got paid. It sucked what happened to him. Cowboys are not going to be good this year. They're just not. I'm sorry. All of his numbers are in garbage time. I'm just not a big believer in Dak. I don't know what to say, man, because a lot of people who really break down film really like Dak and think he's a great player. I just don't see it. Sorry, I just don't see it. Cardinals win this game. And, man, if Zeke plays like he played last year, oh, God, they might have the number one pick. So the Cardinals, man, they take that. That's a win. So that puts them at 5-11 so far on the season. All right. Last game of the year, week 18, man. So we got San Francisco at the Rams. Now, division's locked up. The only reason they'd play is the number one seed. I don't know if they'd beat the Rams anyway. It's just the end of the year, rough, long. We had a week 4 bye. Or sorry, week 6 bye. I'm stupid. Week 6 bye. So I got them losing here, man. So they finished with a 13-14 record. All right, Rams get a win. Man, they had a rough second half of the season. That puts them at 9-8 on the season for the Los Angeles Rams. First year with Jared Goff. Then we got Seattle at Arizona. I got Seattle winning this game. That puts Seattle at 11-6, second place in the division. Then we got the Cardinals. Whew, poor guys. 5-12. So for the division shaping out, man, I think this will get us the number one seed. I got San Francisco at 13-4. I got Jimmy G playing all season. I'd love to see Trey Lance get in there. And I've heard some other great guys, Haberman and Middlecoff, they were talking about giving Trey Lance entire series on occasion. I don't know, man. We'll have to see. I love the sound of it. But that's tricky. But I would love to see it. Anywho, I don't see him starting games. I see Jimmy starting every game and playing well, having a great year. Then we got Seattle, 11-6. I know I talked about how weak their roster is, but they still got Russell. I don't think their roster got better or worse from last year. I think they won 11 games. So I think they lose that 17th game this year. They go 11-6. They make the playoffs. Then I got the Rams, 9-8. The depth, man. The depth reared its head. If you notice, I had them starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 2. And they ended up falling off. No, they couldn't be 9-2. That's silly. Yeah, well, they only won 2 games after their bye. So rough, 7-2. So maybe not what you were hoping for in LA, but that's what I expect. And this is a tough division, man. Y'all might still make the playoffs at 9-8. Then we got the Cardinals, man. I'm not a believer in anything you did, draft-wise, free agent-wise, roster construction, like coaching. I don't believe in it. So I got you guys at 5-12 and in last place and certainly missing the playoffs. So, yeah, sucks to be you guys. So that's it, man. I'm going to wrap it up here. We got the schedule done. San Francisco, baby, big year. And again, I'd love to see me some Trey Lance. He was my favorite quarterback that I scouted. I just don't see him getting into it. And for all the people, man, saying, hey, Trey Lance is already better than Jimmy G. Do you think Jimmy Garoppolo is – let's just say Jimmy Garoppolo is a top 15 quarterback. I personally have him 12 in my quarterback rankings. I talked. I had John Chapman on my show. He's got Jimmy Garoppolo 13th. So you're telling me that Trey Lance just got drafted and is a top 12 quarterback in the league? Think about that. Probably not. So unless Jimmy gets hurt, Trey Lance is not coming in. If you put it in perspective like that, it almost sounds a little silly because I don't think you expect any rookie to be a top 12 guy. That's pretty high praise. So yeah, man. 13-4. Trey Lance is, waits this year on the bench. This is Jimmy's team. And if we get that first round bye, man, that is crucial. If we don't get the bye, we're not going far in the playoffs, especially with because of the week 6 early bye. That's crucial, man. And that was like that in 2019. We had a week 4 or 5 bye. I remember being like, man, if we don't get the first seed, we're not going to the Super Bowl. We get that number 1 seed. We get that bye this year. This is another Super Bowl run. This is another Super Bowl run for a stacked roster. And obviously I'm accounting for most guys staying healthy. So, yeah, I'm super pumped for the season, man. Remember, follow me on all the social medias. We got everything linked in the description: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. So check all that stuff out, man. Again, real sorry that I said stuff was coming out and it didn't. We had some difficulties with everything, so won't happen again. But that'll do it, man. I'm Joey from JK Sports Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you.